गाइस किसी भी एग्जाम को स्टार्ट करने से पहले हमें हमारे 3 बेसिक एरियाज को कवर करना होता है। वो क्या है? अंडरस्टैंडिंग, लर्निंग एंड थर्ड इज एनालिसिस। और ये तीनों की तीनों चीजें हमें हमारे प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर से मिलती हैं, जहां पे हमें पता चल जाता है कि अब मुझे किस चीज पे फोकस करना है ताकि मैं नेक्स्ट ईयर के एग्जाम में प्रिपेयर रहूं और एक ट्रेंड को एनालाइज कर सकूं कि क्या ऐसे टॉपिक्स हैं या क्या ऐसे नए एरियाज हैं जिनको एक्सप्लोर किया जा रहा है, जिसपे इस साल आपको अच्छी तरह पकड़ बनानी पड़ेगी ताकि आप एग्जाम में एक रैंक लेके आ सको। अब दोस्तों इसी चीज के ऊपर आज का वीडियो हम आपके लिए लेके आए हैं, जहां पे हम आपके साथ प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर डिस्कस करेंगे इकोनॉमिक एंड सोशल इश्यूज का 2024 का फिफ्थ एग्जामिनेशन, बोथ ऑब्जेक्टिव एंड डिस्क्रिप्टिव। क्योंकि पिछले साल सबसे ज्यादा अगर कोई अनएक्सपेक्टेड पेपर आया था तो वो फेज 2 का ईएसआई का पेपर ही था। क्या था अनएक्सपेक्टेड लेवल और कैसे डील करना है अगले 2025 के लिए, तो आज इस वीडियो में समझेंगे। और दोस्तों वीडियो को शुरू करने से पहले एक इंपॉर्टेंट चीज ये है कि अगर आप एडुटैप की मेंटरशिप को एक्सपीरियंस करना चाहते हैं तो आप हमारे फ्री कोर्स को सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हैं, जहां पे हम आपको एक स्ट्रक्चर्ड वे में कैसे आपको तैयारी स्टार्ट करनी है वो बताएंगे। हम अपने डेमो लेक्चर्स में आपको दे रहे हैं ताकि आपको आइडिया लग जाए कि किस तरह से हमारी फैकल्टीज जो हैं वो आपको मेन कोर्सेज में पढ़ाती हैं। तो काइंड ऑफ मेन कोर्स पूरा नहीं है बट एक आइडिया लग जाए कि ऐसे आपको पढ़ाया जा रहा है। और तीसरा इंपॉर्टेंट चीज ये है गाइस कि आपको कोई भी डाउट आता है, एक शुरुआत कैसे करनी है वो आपको यहां से आइडिया लग जाएगा। तो इसके लिए लिंक आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन में दिया हुआ है, आप उस लिंक पे जाके हमारे फ्री कोर्स को एनरोल कर सकते हैं। चलिए दोस्तों स्टार्ट करते हैं आज का पेपर 2024 का प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर फेज 2 एग्जामिनेशन ऑफ इकोनॉमिक एंड सोशल इश्यूज। तो सबसे पहले मैं ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन डिस्कस करूंगा एंड देन जिस करंट सर विल बी हियर जो आपके साथ डिस्क्रिप्टिव पेपर को डिस्कस करेंगे। नाउ द मेन थिंग इन दिस एग्जामिनेशन वाज ऑब्जेक्टिव पेपर वाज कंप्लीटली आई कुड से आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स। व्हाई द क्वेश्चन वाज पेपर वाज आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स? बिकॉज the whole 2 marker paper is completely based on reports, completely based on reports, that's what I would say। but अब यहां से लर्निंग क्या लेनी है आपको कि अगर वो पेपर पूरा का पूरा रिपोर्ट्स बेस्ड आया है तो वाज इट दैट थिंग कि आप उसको टैकल ही नहीं कर पाते, या फिर वो ऐसा चीज पूछे गए थे कि आप टैकल तो कर पाते थे बट वो जो क्वेश्चंस देख के आप लोग घबरा गए। तो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द थिंग हियर। देयर वाज द फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ बेस्ड क्वेश्चन दैट वाज बेसिकली ऑन वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम। So that was clearly defined in the paragraph about World Economic Forum. And guys, again, important note for all of you. This is a memory-based paper. It's not an exact replica of the paper. We have tried our best कि आपको exact paper ही दिखे, but again, it's a memory-based paper. तो मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि एग्जैक्ट यही लैंग्वेज आई होगी, बट हाँ इसके आसपास की लैंग्वेज में ही पेपर आया था और इसके आसपास के जो क्वेश्चंस हैं वी हैव ट्राइड अवर बेस्ट टॉक टू मेनी स्टूडेंट्स सो दैट आपको जो पेपर हम लोग प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं दैट इज नियर टू आई कुड से द परफेक्शन वी हैव ट्राइड टू वर्क हियर। सो देन अगेन आई वुड से कि अगर यहाँ पे डू नॉट टेक एग्जैक्ट लाइन ही ये आई है, बट हाँ इस लाइन पे ही पेपर आया था, दैट्स एन इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग। Now there was a paragraph on World Economic Forum, and this thing, something new that we have seen is that guys, now what RBI has done is RBI has given 2 paragraphs this year. RBI has worked on 2 paragraphs, and first paragraph was prominently focusing on World Economic Forum. Okay, then the question was on World Economic Forum's report. So World Economic Forum's report was being discussed. World Economic Outlook की बात हुई थी, और along with that they have played it with World Economic Forum initiative that was announced during the Davos summit in January 2024 here. Now you can see here it's basically a mixture of one core topic of World Economic Forum where they have picked a report related to that important initiative, and they have picked an initiative again related to that specific organization. So here you can see here the first question was about the initiative that was being discussed. So guys, Alliance for Global Good Gender Equity and Equality initiative was signed during the World Economic Forum's annual meeting. Okay जी, अब meeting हमें पता ही है, and I could say this is the question which we can say is an easy question. The reason being that because we know that every year World Economic Forum's meeting takes place in Davos only. So answer will be Davos here. Next question was actually on the Alliance for Global Gender Equity. Now the point here is guys, if you look at this paper, if you do not know the initiative, you cannot handle this question. But guys, the point here was that how the students came to know about this specific initiative was because this is the thing that was highlighted. The supporting alliance ठीक है जी, it says World Economic Forum has a network partner and Invest India as an institutional partner here, and then it was being said that it was anchored by the CII Center for Women Leadership here. So all these statements are correct with regards to Alliance for Global Good Gender Equity and Equality Initiative. So that's why answer will be option number D. All of the above will be the answer here. Okay. Again, the guys, your answer, I would say, your prime focus here should not be on looking at that what is the right answer. Your prime focus should be on understanding that how the questions are now being framed. You can see now a theme has been created. Again, you can see here the next question now is basically on the report here. So World Economic Forum's 2024 report was released. ठीक है जी, and this is what they have asked your question here. According to the report that was discussed here, ठीक है, what is the primary reason for India's decline in the global index ranking here? ठीक है जी, तो कौन सी ग्लोबल इंडेक्स रेटिंग है, क्या रीजन था? रीजन था जी हमारा एजुकेशनल अटेनमेंट हियर. Then the next question is which of the following organization has launched the report mentioned in the passage? And that's one question again that was students were able to understand because it was talking about global gender gap report. Okay ji, and because it was being released by World Economic Forum, and that is one question we can say easy because somehow the students to whom I have talked about, they said this is a hint that was given here, and that is one question in the whole paper, in this whole series of set of questions we could find, we could solve this because World Economic Forum ही दिया हुआ था पैराग्राफ में भी और यहाँ पे भी वही क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है. Okay, so this is something guys you can expect in the examination because obviously it was a little bit difficult. I'm not saying it's an easy paper, it's a difficult paper because you were going with an experience that schemes will be asked more, but here it is quite vice versa. The questions were from reports that was being highlighted more here. Now the thing that you must learn from here is that guys important reports being mentioned: World Economic Forum as an organization, World Bank, International Monetary Fund. They are some prominent organizations, and if they are releasing a report, that should always be covered on priority, and that is what has been, you can see here. Now the next question is from middle income countries are facing the critical juncture in their development journey, while many have successfully risen from low income to high level. Just give me a second. Chali. And now there it has been talked about the World Development Report, and whenever you talk about the reports in RBI, we always say that there are 6 reports being clearly defined in the syllabus of RBI, and that one should not leave. Earlier we have seen the descriptive question from these reports, but now this year the focus has shifted to the objective paper. World Economic Outlook, World Development Report, Report on Currency and Finance, RBI's Annual Report, Report on Trends and Progress of Banking in India, Financial Stability Report. These are the prominent reports. Other than that, you have Unit Budget and Economic Survey being clearly defined in this syllabus. And if you look at this examination, you will see here, if you focus on these reports, you are going very thorough in these reports, you can handle these questions. And that is the thing where RBI is played. One learning I would say, guys, if you are going for phase 2 examination now, you should be thorough about the syllabus of RBI. Anything mentioned in the syllabus, you should read it. That is the thing I would say. Now question is, who is the director of the World Development Report? And the first question that was asked now guys was completely, I could say, out of the box. Nobody can prepare this question. मैं आपको जितना मर्जी पढ़ा दूं फिर भी ये क्वेश्चन हम नहीं कर पाएंगे. And you have to take it on yourself guys कि there will be these sort of questions where examiner is just playing with us. Because nobody will be able to retain this information. As इतना डिटेल में आप नहीं पढ़ पाओगे. मैं आपको एक एडवाइस भी करूंगा, अगले साल भी आप ऐसे रट्टा मार के बच्चा ले जाना, कोई फायदा नहीं है, क्योंकि इतने रिपोर्ट्स आती हैं, इतने मेंबर्स इन्वॉल्व होते हैं, यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू रिमेंबर द नेम. ओके, हाँ, थोड़ा सा आइडिया जरूर लेने शुरू कर दो कि अगले बार से कोई रिपोर्ट पढ़ रहे हो, बड़ी रिपोर्ट पढ़ रहे हो, थोड़ा सा आइडिया ले लो. That's what I would say. So answer here was Soumik Vilal. Completely unexpected question, and I would say this was the most difficult question from this report. Then now see the first question you have seen, you were completely outblown. Okay, what has happened? But again, we always say make yourself calm, be composed in the examination. And how? Now you can say this is the question. This is one question whichever you have read, you can reproduce here. The World Development Report suggests various strategies to escape the economic traps here. Consider the following statements. The report suggests a 3I strategy, focuses on investment, innovation, and infusion of technology here. Then it says it highlights the forces of creation, preservation, and destruction as the key to driving economic transformation. The participation of women in the workforce is emphasized as a critical factor for sustainable development. Which of the above statement is or are correct here? 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1, 2 and 3, all of the above or one only. So answer was all the statements given here are correct regarding the World Development Report here. And this is again, I would not say an easy question, but yes, this is a moderate level question which many of us can tackle here. Next is, according to the World Bank, how many middle income countries have successfully transitioned to the high income status since 1990? We always say factual questions are important for the examination, and specifically when you come across these sort of reports, I would not say every data, but guys, the prominent data, how many countries have came out of middle income trap, what's the performance of India, how the top countries have performed, what are the countries who are absolutely at the bottom point of the line. So these are the important parameters. The parameters are still same when you talk about a report. Only thing is, when you came across those reports which are clearly being mentioned in the syllabus, you have to go a little bit deep here. That is the thing here. Okay, ji, chalo. Next is, consider the following statements about India as per the given report here. At current trends, it will take 75 years to reach 1/4 of US income per capita here. Then at the end of 2023, India is classified as a middle income country with a GDP per capita ranging from between $1,136 to $13,845. In India, firms typically double in size over 40 years compared to a 7-fold increase for firms of the same age in the United States. Now, which of the above statements given here is or are correct here? Again, guys, the answer given was, all the statements were given was correct here. Again, I would say the paper was, this question is again on a moderate level, but now you can expect the statement based questions are being asked from reports also. So whenever you are preparing a report, you should prepare a one-liner question, and also you should prepare a statement based questions. Now, next is India's real GDP. So now again, the next paragraph was basically on the next important report here. It is saying India's real GDP is expected to grow between 6.5 to 7%, and that first line highlighted to the person that this is talking about economic survey. So that's why I said economic survey is very, very important. So that is the question that was picked from economic survey. And now how you guys have to look at the paragraphs, guys, always look at the keywords. Here the only keyword was this first line, 6.5 to 7%, from where students get to know that this is talking about economic survey here. The question was, what does A refer to here? As I told you, the paragraph is talking about economic survey of 23-24 here. Then it says, now this is the type of thing now you have to focus on economic survey. We have seen that the recent economic survey is out here, and I always say what are the new things to be focused on. Rank of India, first, second, third. It's talking about the achievement of India here. Okay, because this year if I talk about it, still it has been highlighted. What is rank of India in, I would say, jute was being discussed, grapes initiatives was being discussed here. So these are the important things you have to focus this year also if you are going for the examination. The question was, India is the second largest producer of which product and the largest producer of which product. Now you can see here it is really going in deep, but the point is that was clearly being highlighted in the syllabus of RBI. So all the questions which we are catering, the things are mentioned in the syllabus. The only thing is, now we have to be thorough on the syllabus, and whenever we are coming across these sort of topics, we have to be really thorough. So the answer for that was only C. Option number E was the right answer here. That is cotton and species. So India was the second largest producer of rice, wheat and cotton, and the largest producer of milk, pulses and spices was the answer here. I would again say this is a difficult question because इकोनॉमिक सर्वे में इतना ज्यादा डाटा आता है, हर एक डाटा याद करना मुश्किल है. पर दोस्तों अगर आप इस साल के एग्जाम को टारगेट करोगे तो ये चीज आपके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट बन ही जाएगी. चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आता है. As per the economic survey, what has been the average annual growth rate of the agriculture sector in India over the last 5 years? And the answer for that was 4.18% here. And guys, now one thing very important. Generally, when you talk about the RBI examination, we always say do not focus more on the agriculture part of the current affairs. But you will see now the agriculture which is somehow related to economic and social issues, because Indian agriculture is a part of the syllabus here. वहां पे फोकस किया जा रहा है. पीएम किसान स्कीम पे भी क्वेश्चन आया है और पीएम मत्स्य संपदा योजना पे भी क्वेश्चन आ चुका है आपके एग्जामिनेशन. तो मतलब कहीं ना कहीं जो चीजें आपके एग्रीकल्चर की जनरल चीजें हैं और इकोनॉमिकली भी बूस्ट करती हैं इकोनॉमी को, तो वो चीजें आपको पढ़नी है। अब ऐसा नहीं कि एग्रीकल्चर का डाटा छोड़ दो, आरबीआई क्यों पूछेगा, आरबीआई पूछ रहा है, तो दैट इज द थिंग यू नीड टू एड्रेस if you are preparing for the examination now. Next is India's economy needs to generate nearly 78.51 lakh jobs annually in dash to accommodate the growing working age population, and that was the important thing that being highlighted in the previous economic survey, that job creation should be the primary goal, and we have to generate around 78.51 lakh jobs annually in the non-farming sector here. Then this is about this thing. The next important question is again from World Economic Outlook. Okay, so here what they have done. Now you can again see here, World Economic Outlook has been merged with Global Risk Report. The reason why they were merged, again a theme has been created. Theme has been created from the economic and potential future challenges. Now you will see here, guys, that if you look at the complexity of this paragraph, this is what it is being saying, that if you are preparing for the examination, you have to prepare in a comprehensive manner, and your understanding of the topic is now very, very important. It's not that you remember the fact, it's about how much you have understood the different aspects. And we always say relation of current affairs is the key here, and if you are making a relation with the things, then only you can solve these sort of questions. Otherwise, guys, it is becoming difficult now. Okay, so the first question was, as per the World Economic Outlook of April 2024 forecast, what is the projected global growth rate for the year 2024? So the answer for that was, that is 3.2%. Okay, ji. And if I talk about this specific question, this is an easy question. Now you will see in the paper, it's not that completely the whole paper is out of the box. The only thing is, yes, we were not expecting question from reports. That is the most important learning. And if you are preparing now for the examination, I would say do not leave anything. That is the major learning which you must take for regarding the RBI examination. Then is, which term is used to describe a situation where multiple crises, environmental, health, geopolitical and economic pressure convergence were there? Answer for that was polycrisis, but that's a very difficult question, I would say, guys. Very difficult question here. It was about polycrisis here, but polycrisis की बात 2024 में नहीं 2023 में हुई थी. ठीक है, 2023 के आसपास पॉलीक्राइसिस टर्म के बारे में डिस्कशन हुआ था. ठीक है जी, दैट वाज अंडर द ग्लोबल रिस्क रिपोर्ट. Then the next important thing was the term dash. The term X describes the interplay between several global challenges. Which of the following does not describe the challenge here? ठीक है जी, and the answer for that was political empowerment crisis here. So basically this is again a question that has been asked from the term polycrisis also. The term polycrisis that was being highlighted in the report, it refers to the pandemic, the war in Ukraine, energy crisis and the cost of living crisis. So this was not basically pertaining to, okay, which of the following does not describe the challenge. So political empowerment crisis was not the part here. Okay ji, so again if I talk about this part here, okay ji, again not an expected question, not an easy question here, but that I would say, guys, now from this year onwards, we have to be very, very thorough on these reports. There are some things which might be, and if I talk about the 20 questions which are 2 markers here, so it's earlier it used to say कि यार हो जाएंगे, but अब वो चीज नहीं है. Now the point is, if you're targeting 20 questions, your target score should be set, and the important thing is you must know the limitations also, because यहाँ पे 20 के 20 क्वेश्चन नहीं, किसी के सभी ठीक होंगे, 14-15 का हो रहे हैं तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, क्योंकि वही चीज आपको पता है. 3-4 क्वेश्चन तो ऐसे ही आ गए, वो तो कंप्लीटली ही आपको आइडिया ही नहीं है कि क्या करा है उसमें, तो उसको आप हैंडल भी नहीं कर पाओगे. बेटर है to leave those questions. Next is, as per the global risk report, which of the following are the long term risk involved which you will face? So that's something that was highlighted in this year's report. So the answer for that was geopolitical tensions. Not the long term risk involved, that is geopolitical tension, because it's a short term thing. Okay ji, and the terms were misinformation and disinformation, cyber insecurity, biodiversity losses and ecosystem collapse and involuntary migration are basically the long term risks involved in the report here. Next question, again if you look at the report here, so here now what they have done is, they have taken a theme of sustainable development goal here. It is saying India is trailing behind achieving the more than 50% of indicators under the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 7 years before the 2030 ठीक है, डेडलाइन अकॉर्डिंग टू अ स्टडी पब्लिश्ड इन डैश जर्नल ऑन February 2023. Again you can see here report being asked any year before. You are giving an examination at the end of 2024. It is saying report was published in February 2023. Now this was a paragraph which I would say, guys, and there were 2 to 3 questions earlier which we have seen, is something which I'm not saying because I will not advise कि अब आप सारे की सारी रिपोर्ट्स पढ़नी शुरू कर दो पुरानी. Obviously यार एग्जाम में बहुत फील होता है, हमको भी होता है. As a educator, we also feel कि क्यों ये पूछ रहा है. But I think somehow now the tendency that RBI is setting is कि they will be asking you some questions which you do not have any idea. वो पूछेंगे ऐसी चीज. अब हम लोग एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि नीति आयोग की सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल इंडेक्स से कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछा जाएगा. एसडीजी इंडिया इंडेक्स निकाला गया है, एसडीजी इंडिकेटर रिपोर्ट निकाली है, but they have not asked. They have asked question from Lancet study that was being highlighted. Okay, so it was a study of Lancet, ठीक है जी, that was being highlighted, and along with that, now you can see here, this is the first paragraph. We might feel होगा नहीं. Look at the second paragraph. Second paragraph, it has talked about a scheme here. Now here, this is the only question of scheme we have seen. Earlier, we always have seen a question of scheme-based thing that was used to be asked here, but it might be a trend, it might be a one-timer, but I must say, guys, you should again take schemes on a very high priority. Reason is only been that because हो सकता है एक बार नहीं पूछा, but ऐसा नहीं कि नहीं पूछेंगे. ठीक है जी, चलो. According to the recent study, how many key indicators has India fallen behind on and out of the dash identified assets identified for assessing progress towards 9 sustainable development goals? It was the answer 1933. Again, I'm saying it's the most difficult question. That is why we said this paper was really somehow completely out of the box. And who has published this specific report? The answer was the Lancet study. So 2, 4, 6, 8. आप देख लो कि मुझे खुद बहुत बुरा लग रहा है यार कि 50 में से अगर 8 नंबर निकले तो आप तो बोलो सर क्या ही हो गया. But obviously you have to handle the examination as per the given I could say situation that you have. Because अगर ये एग्जाम डिफिकल्ट है तो इट इज डिफिकल्ट फॉर एवरीबडी. इट्स नॉट दैट कि मैं यहाँ पे बोल कर रहा हूँ कि यार ये हमने नहीं पढ़ा, तो किसी ने भी नहीं पढ़ी होगी लैंसेट स्टडी 2023 की. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको जो पढ़ के जाना है, जो डिफाइंड टाइम है, जैसे आपने देखा ऊपर ग्लोबल रिस्क रिपोर्ट पूछी गई है, वर्ल्ड डेवलपमेंट रिपोर्ट पूछी गई है, वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक आउटलुक की रिपोर्ट पूछी गई है, अलायंस फॉर ग्लोबल जेंडर इक्विटी पूछा गया है, इकोनॉमिक सर्वे पूछा गया है. ये अच्छी तरह प्रिपेयर थे. अगर ये प्रिपेयर होंगे तो मतलब यहां पर ज्यादा फोकस लगा लो. जो चीज नहीं आती हो तो निकल के जो आती है वहां पे प्राइम फोकस समझे. और यही सबसे बड़ी लर्निंग इस एग्जाम ने हमें दी भी है. देन the next question, as I've told you, basically it has talked about Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare has launched a web portal jointly by which organization to automate and speed up the progress for settlement of interest subvention claims of the banks submitted under the Agriculture Infrastructure Fund scheme here. And the answer for that was the initiative agreement was signed by NABARD here. Again, you can see now agriculture based question has been asked, and then there was a question on PM Pranam scheme that has been asked here in the examination. So the question was PM Pranam scheme is a scheme that aims to promote sustainable agriculture and practices. Again, here the core theme was now sustainable development and agriculture. This is how they have related here. Second paragraph was focusing more on the agriculture initiatives. So the last 2 questions are focusing on agriculture part and from the schemes here. So question was on PM Pranam scheme. ठीक है जी, consider the following statements with respect to PM Pranam scheme. So that's why I would say, guys, now it's not just the important ministries. Pranam scheme जो है basically केमिकल्स एंड फर्टिलाइजर्स की बात करता है. तो अगर इस पे क्वेश्चन पूछा जा सकता है तो इसका मतलब समझ लो आप कि अगर आप कोई भी स्कीम पढ़ रहे हो तो डू नॉट टेक एनी स्कीम लाइटली, एंड इफ दैट स्कीम इज सीन इन न्यूज यू शुड ऑलवेज प्रिपेयर दैट. और ये स्कीम अगस्त में न्यूज में ही थी. ठीक है जी, चलो. The term PM Pranam stands for PM Program for Restoration, Awareness, Generation, Nourishment and Amelioration of Mother Earth. Here the scheme provides 50% of the state fertilizer subsidy to states or union territories that reduce chemical fertilizers compared to the previous 3-year average. The Department of Expenditure is responsible for overseeing the disbursements of grants under the scheme through its existing scheme here. So the answer was, again, the statements were given were right here. Now these were the 2 marker questions here. ठीक है जी. Learning that could be picked is obviously there are some questions which we could not tackle, but there are the major reports which have been defined in the syllabus that we should have a very strong hold there. Now that comes to the next important questions. Let's talk about the one other questions here. The Ministry of Labour and Employment is implementing the National Career Service Portal. अब ये application based question था. It's a complete application based question here. It says who among the following can get the benefit from the services offered by the National Career Service Portal. ठीक है. So if you look at the thing here, guys, this is just giving you an idea because National Career Service Portal talks about providing the guidance and information on skill development here. So is it individual seeking jobs, apprenticeship opportunities, job placement for ex-servicemen? So it was catering to all these things. And it's an application based question. I'm completely saying, I'm not saying कि इसमें से आप कुछ ढूंढ सकते हो. ये application based question था सारा. चलिए. Let's look at the next question. Mission Vatsalya. Mission Vatsalya again a very prominent scheme here. So you will see here, we always talk about Ministry of Finance, Ministry of MSME. But if you look at the paper, देयर आर क्वेश्चंस फेज 1 में आते हैं बट फेज 2 में कहां पे आते हैं जो ब्रॉडर स्कीम वाली स्कीम्स है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ मिशन वात्सल्य पीएम प्रणाम पीएम किसान so that has to be read. Now coming to the question here, Mission Vatsalya is a strategic initiative focused on advancing child development and protection in line with the sustainable development goals here. Consider the following statements under Mission Vatsalya, part of gender issue. A grant for marriage purpose, married couples who have adopted a child, orphans living with guardians receiving financial assistance up to rupees 4,000, financial support of 4,000 and NGOs facilitating adoption of children above 6 years old. So यहाँ पे आता है 2, 3 and 4. Why the first statement is wrong? Because the grant for marriage purpose are not the beneficiaries of the Mission Vatsalya. Next question is about talking about PM Kisan scheme. So PM Kisan Mandhan Yojana. So Pradhan Mantri PM Kisan scheme was discussed. PM Kisan Mandhan Yojana provides social security to land holding to small and marginal farmers through a voluntary contribution pension scheme. ठीक है जी. अगेन अब यहाँ पे क्यों पूछा जाता है कि ये किसान मानधन योजना, बिकॉज यहाँ पे हमारा प्राइम ऑब्जेक्टिव आ जाता है पेंशन स्कीम. Pension is one of the sector we must follow. Consider the following income ineligibility criteria of the PM Kisan Mandhan Yojana. A farmer who is a beneficiary of the PM Kisan scheme, a farmer with a land holding of 1.78 hectare and a farmer age 42 years. So answer is only third statement was right here. Why the second statement was wrong? Because not eligible. The third person was not eligible because the thing is the farmer who is beneficiary of PM Kisan scheme is eligible. Incorrect is a farmer obviously who has a land up to 2 hectares. If he has a land of 1.7 hectare, 78 hectare, he is eligible. Third is age was 18 to 40 years, not 18 to 40 years. So that's why the third person is not eligible here. Next question, if you talk about here, now here you can see slowly and slowly schemes are playing a role. अब देखो 2 मार्कर में नहीं है, अगर 1 मार्कर में है तो मतलब schemes तो आ रही है ना. Now again a very important scheme, Startup India scheme. So consider the following schemes regarding the eligibility of Startup India scheme here. The startup should be incorporated as a private limited company, partnership or a limited liability partnership here. The turnover of the startup should be less than 100 crore rupees in any of the previous financial year. An entity formed by spotting or reconstituting an existing business shall not be considered a startup here. Again, the answer was all of the given statements were correct here. Next question is Prime Minister's National Relief Fund. ठीक है जी. I would say a little bit a difficult question here. Which of the following are eligible to receive assistance under the PMNRF here? Families of those killed in a natural calamity such as floods, cyclones and earthquakes. Victims of major accidents and riots here. Patients requiring medical treatment for conditions such as heart surgeries, kidneys, transparent cancer and acid attack and the all of the above. So यहाँ पे भी सभी आंसर बन जाएगा. All these are basically eligible here. And I would say this is a very difficult question that was here. Now you can see here agriculture infrastructure fund. There was a 2-mark question. There was a 1-mark question also in agriculture infrastructure fund. The thing was agriculture infrastructure fund aims to provide medium to long-term finance for investments in viable projects related to post-harvest management and community farming infrastructure. Who among the following are eligible? Flour mill owner, a person producing pickles, person who is a farmer, a person who cultivates mushrooms in Meghalaya. So then again the answer will be all of the above. देखो यहाँ पे ना ये वाला जो पार्ट है ये काफी टेक्निकल है, मतलब काफी डिटेल्ड है, और जब भी आप स्कीम पढ़ते हो these sort of things, exclusion, inclusion, special focus areas, that should always be given a focus here. Now, next question, foreign trade policy, again something which we were not expecting because foreign trade policy, the question has been asked in 2023 examination also. This year the question has also been asked and this question was really difficult. The question is which of the following transactions are considered as deemed exports under the foreign trade policy 2023, which means if you are covering any topic with a broader vision the government has released, be it foreign trade policy, be it national education policy, we should always be thorough about those things. So under the foreign trade policy, which of the foreign transactions are considered as deemed exports? So the answer is supply of goods to export oriented units, supply of capital goods to export promotion capital gains, and supply of goods projected by funded by the United Nations agencies were the answer here. नेक्स्ट इज विच अमंग द फॉलोइंग इज एलिजिबल टू अप्लाई फॉर द नेशनल पेंशन स्कीम. तो देखो यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन एनपीएस के भी आया, पर एनपीएस पे क्वेश्चन है, केस स्टडी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन आया है. ठीक है. Ramesh, an Indian citizen residing in India, age 25 years, applying under the All India Citizenship model here. Suresh, a person of Indian origin, age 30, currently living abroad. Geeta, employed by state autonomous body, joining the service after the respective state government notification. And Priya is an overseas citizen of India, aged 40 years, working in an international organization here. So here the answer was option number B. 1, 3 and 4 was the answer, because first statement absolute right, 18 to 70 age होती है ऑल इंडिया सिटीजन मॉडल में. Second incorrect है because Suresh is a person of Indian origin and persons of Indian origin are not eligible for getting the benefit under national pension scheme here. So that is why the second statement is wrong here. Again, the applicability has been tested here. Next question on PM Kisan scheme. So based on the eligibility criteria of PM Kisan scheme, assess the following initiatives. It says Anil is a small land holding farmer with 1.5 hectares of agricultural land in his name. He is also a government employee working in the postal department. Sunita owns 2 hectares of agricultural land and works part-time as a private tutor. She does not have any government institution employment. Then Ramesh has a 3 hectare of land inherited from his family but is not using it for a cultivable purpose and operates a small shop in his village. He doesn't tell. So who is eligible here? You know, if you are using this scheme not for a cultivable purpose, you are not eligible here. ठीक है जी. Private tutor है, does not have any government or institutional employment. दूसरा क्या, Anil is a small land holding farmer with 1.5 hectare of agricultural land in his name. He is also government employee. So government employee not eligible. तो eligible कौन हुआ? Only Sunita will be eligible here. Next comes the last question. Mr. Sharma, resident individual, is interested in investing in sovereign gold bond scheme. Again, you can see here now the prominent schemes, NPS, sovereign gold bond. Questions are now being asked. ठीक है जी. To diversify her portfolio, she wants to invest in 3 kg of gold this fiscal year. Mrs. Sharma intends to have flexibility of redeeming her investment after a few years if needed. आपको मुझे बताना है based on the eligible criteria which of the following component options best applies to a situation. Mrs. Sharma can invest up to 4 kg as an individual with an option for premature redemption after 5 years. Then it says Mrs. Sharma can invest only up to 2 kg as an individual. No, because that's not a part of eligibility. And now you can see here, if you look at the paper of 2023, there again the similar sort of question was asked, but यहाँ पे क्या किया उन्होंने, एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड पेपर बना दिया 2020 यहाँ पे. ठीक है, एक केस स्टडी बेस्ड क्वेश्चन बना दिया. Then is Mrs. Sharma can redeem her investment at any time before? No, Mrs. Sharma is not eligible to invest. And then is Mrs. Sharma must invest minimum 5 kg of gold. That's wrong. Only the first statement is right, which is matching the eligibility criteria of sovereign gold bond scheme here. So this is about your objective paper, guys. Now I will be moving forward. I will be calling Jaskaran sir here, and he will be now proceeding here from the descriptive questions, that how you should tackle here and what are the learnings you must take from the descriptive paper if you are preparing for the examination in the upcoming years now. So over to Jaskaran sir.
Okay, so hello everyone. I hope you had a great discussion regarding the objective type paper. Now let us move on to the descriptive paper. Now, as far as the descriptive paper is concerned, first of all, I would like to tell you that the purpose of discussing these questions, very specifically with respect to descriptive, is not to preach the idea of perfection. What do I mean by the idea of perfection? The idea of perfection is that the word limit is 600 words. And in the examination you are writing 600 words only, or maybe 580 words only. If the word limit is 400 words, and in the examination you are writing 400 words, you are targeting 380 words, all such type of things. So these things, I would say, as far as my experience and my interaction with the students is concerned, it is I would say highly likely you won't be able to achieve this target in the examination. But here the model questions that we have prepared, they are around, the word limit with respect to the answers is 580 words, or somewhere it is 600 also. But the point is that Basically, we are also focusing on the comprehensiveness of the answer. We want to provide you a comprehensive answer with respect to the question, and that is why the word limit, I would say the word limit that the exam is asking, which is 600 or 400, we have been able to achieve that. But in the real examination, it is very much challenging. Fine, so this is the thing that I want to keep in your mind. Now let us move on to the first question, which is the 15 marker question. So firstly we will see the 15 marker questions, and after that we will see the 10 marker questions. So when we see the 15 marker question, the first question is, discuss the challenges of youth employment in India and suggest possible solutions. Now the first thing is that this question seems to be static in nature. And yes, it is static. If you have some kind of static knowledge, you should be in a position to answer it. But apart from that, I would like to say that the background of this question is linked to current affairs. Why is it so? Because basically last year a very important report was launched by International Labour Organization, and the name of the report was India Employment Report 2024. Now when this report was launched, basically in that report they talked in a very comprehensive manner about the high rate of youth unemployment in India, and this context was discussed in a lot of newspapers, in a lot of articles, and from there we were able to analyze that yes, this portion from this report is important, and that is why we have discussed it as a part of our YouTube initiative Perspective 360 degree also, where we do current affair based answer writing practice. Now so you can see, even if the question is static, but that's how the background is linked to the current affairs. And as I told you, we have discussed it at the part of the session. The point that I want to make is that, if you are covering the current affairs in a very comprehensive manner, it is going to help you the static questions also. Fine. So that is a learning that you can take as a part of this answer. So as a part of the answer to this question, so you can see the model answer that the question is about discuss the challenges of youth employment in India and suggest possible solutions. So in the answer, you can firstly talk about that India is one of the largest youth population, presenting a unique opportunity for economic growth. Then what you can write, if you are aware about that this fact was related to India Employment Report, so you can write the context of India Employment Report that according to India Employment Report by ILO, the youth unemployment rate is disproportionately high, with young individuals facing issues related to skill gaps, informal unemployment and limited job opportunities, and we need to address them. Fine. Now after that, what you can do, you can write the challenges. You can write the challenges, and in the challenges you can talk about high unemployment rate, then the skill mismatch that is there, and you should also try to substantiate your points using some sort of data or maybe some sort of example. So you can see that at least if I'm writing 5 points, in 2 out of 5 points I'm trying to give data. I'm not asking you to give data in all the 5 points because I know it is not possible. It sounds impractical, but at least in 1 out of 5 points or maybe 2 out of 5 points, try to give some data or try to give some example that will add value to your answer and will help you to secure maximum marks. Now you can see it over here, the skill management. After that we have the informal employment, fine, which is also a major concern. Then the rural urban divide, and here you can see the value addition content. For example, the Ministry of Rural Development, it has reported XYZ type of thing. I'm not reading everything because otherwise the session will be very lengthy, but I just want to focus on the structuring. I just want to focus on the content that you could have written. Then apart from that, the education system, it also has its own limitations, and here you can write some data also with respect to education, because this type of data is easily available. So you can write that around over 80% of the engineering graduates in India lack the required skills for the job market. And what is the source of this information? The source is National Employment Report. Fine. So that is the idea. After that, we have the technological disruptions, and then later on you can write the solutions. Now in the solutions, what you need to write, firstly, the solution should be opposite of, or if not opposite, it should be related to the challenges only. It should be related to challenges. Apart from that, what you have to do, you must add some kind of value to your solution. Find whatever solution you're writing. So whether you can write the name of the schemes, or what you can do, you can write some kind of example, whatever suits. Fine. So you can see over here that if the skill is the issue, then the solution is a skill development program that need to be expanded, and for that you can write the examples. I would say value addition content like this, that's Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. Then for the entrepreneurship, you can give the example of Startup India. For the educational reforms, you can talk about national education policy. Then incentives for the rural employment that will help to reduce the unemployment through schemes like MG Narega. Then you can see it over here, that the strengthening the apprenticeship system, so NAPS that we have in our country, so it could be enhanced to provide young individuals the hand-on experience and wages. Then after that we have the focus on technology also. So you can see in most of the points, I would say 6 out of 5 points I've tried to mention some kind of value with the help of schemes or maybe some sort of examples, and this is again something that you need to focus upon. Then you need to write, I would say, the conclusion of this answer, and please do not write such kind of headings in the conclusion. This I have just written, we have just written it so that we can tell you that basically we can explain you that from here our conclusion is starting, but do not write such kind of headings in your original answer in your examination. So you can write like the India's youth employment challenges require a coordinated efforts and multifaceted approach, and we need to focus on skill development, entrepreneurship, all the sort of things, and what is the way forward. In order to the way forward is that we need to implement these measures effectively that will allow India to harness the potential of its youth. Fine. So this is how you can write the answer to this question, and I would say the difficulty level is very much easy. Why? Because straightforward question is asked with respect to the youth unemployment status, and this is the type of topic that is directly mentioned in the syllabus also. So I'm assuming that those who are writing the phase 2, they would have prepared this topic. So this falls under the easy category. Very straightforward question. Now let us move on to the next question. Now the next question will discuss the 5 key digital initiatives introduced in the budget and their potential impact on India's digital economy. So you can see that this question was directly related to what? Current affairs as a part of the budget. Then after that, explain the transformational journey of Digital India initiative. Now this is again something that is linked to the current affair only, because it was very much highlighted as a part of the PIB and the different reports also that were published by the government. And again, we had covered it as a part of Perspective 360. This one also was covered. Fine. Now coming to the model answers, is this question is of 7.5 marks only. So you don't have to explain a lot of things. You just have to be, your content should be to the point, and you have to be very precise and very concise with respect to your explanation. So you can write like the budget has consistently emphasized digital transformation as a core element of economic growth, enhancing both productivity and financial inclusivity. Then you can write the different 5 key digital initiatives that have been highlighted as a part of the budget. So you can talk about expansion of digital public infrastructure. Then you can talk about the promotion of artificial intelligence ecosystem. Fine. With the, for example, the government is planning to establish centers of excellence for artificial intelligence. This was something that was mentioned as a part of the budget. So apart from that, there have been initiatives regarding the digital payments incentivization also. This is again you can write. Then the 4th point is regarding the development of digital skilling programs. For example, we need to empower youth with respect to the competencies related to AI, fine, data analytics, all such type of advanced technologies. Then implementation of National Digital Health Mission, again something initiative linked to the digitization only. So we need to expand the National Digital Health Mission to ensure that the citizens have access to digital health records and telemedicine services. So that's how you can write the different initiatives that are very much linked to the India's digital economy. Find the impact of India's digital economy. The next point is regarding explain the transformational journey of the Digital India initiative. So over here again this question carries 7.5 marks only. So for that, what you can do, you can write a very concise and very specific answer. So over here you can write like the Digital India initiative launched in 2015 and it is a transformative campaign. You can write a I would say precise introduction that explains about the Digital India initiative, and after that you can write the different type of contributing factors with respect to Digital India initiative. So for example, with respect to inception and infrastructure building, then the development of digital literacy, and you can see in all over these points we are trying to add some kind of value, some kind of examples wherever possible. Fine. So you should also try to do that. Now again I'm reiterating what I said earlier, that do not focus on perfection. These points that have been written, we had enough time to frame these points. We have enough time to frame these points, but you won't be having that amount of flexibility in the real examination. So I know that it is very challenging. I would say it is not very much doable to write examples, to write data in all the points. But if you're writing 5 points, try to add value in minimum 2 points at least. Fine. So that is the idea. Then promotion of digital literacy and skill development. So over here you can see PM Disha. Then the expansion of digital services 2019 to present. Then you can talk about the DigiLocker and the Umang app. Then the financial inclusion and fintech innovations, for example the UPI. Then after that, the towards a digitally empowered society. So here we can talk about the IoT, the blockchain, the National Digital Health Mission, also sort of things as a part of the answer. After that, we can write that what have been the key outcomes of the Digital India journey. So it has enhanced access to public services. It has helped in the growth of digital economy. It has helped in the financial inclusion. Let me just zoom it a bit. So it has helped in the financial inclusion, and apart from that, it has helped in the employment generation also. Fine. So this is the idea. This is how you can generate points. Of course, this document seems a bit lengthy. This answer also seems a bit lengthy. But yes, of course, in the real examination, you have to write the points in a more concise manner and very precisely, so that you don't fall short of word limit and time limit. Fine. So now let us move on to the question number 3. Explain the inherent conflict between sustainable development and economic growth, focusing on the challenges posed by pursuing both simultaneously. Now this was a 15-marker question. Fine. This was a 15-marker question. Now the thing about this question is that basically this is the only question from the exam that is purely static. It was purely static. Though there was a question of women also, it was also purely static, but you could have answered that question with the help of economic survey also, because that question was mentioned in the economic survey. We will see it very soon. But regarding this question was purely static. It is asking about the conflict between sustainable development and economic growth, and what could be the challenge if we try to pursue the sustainable development and economic growth simultaneously. So over here, firstly, you can talk about that the sustainable development and the economic growth, they are critical objectives that nations strive to achieve. So then you can talk about that what is the importance of economic growth and what is the importance of sustainable development. You can write it in a very concise manner, maybe in 1 to 2 lines. And after that, you can write that if you try to achieve it simultaneously, there can be inherent conflicts. And later on, what you can do, you can talk about those conflicts. So you can talk about the resource depletion and environmental degradation. You can talk about the climate change and the greenhouse emission. Then regarding the waste generation and pollution also. Then the social inequality and unequal resource distribution. Then after that, the short-term and long-term perspective. And once you are done with that, after that, you have to address the second part of the question. Fine. So please make sure that whenever you are answering the question, you have to address all the components that are asked as a part of it. Fine. You have to address all the components. So for example, over here, you can see, wait a second. So over here, you can see, firstly, they are asking about the inherent conflict. They are asking about the inherent conflict with respect to sustainable development and economic growth, and they are asking about the challenges. So firstly, you have to explain this inherent conflict, that what is that inherent conflict, and after that you have to talk about the challenges that is posed when we try to pursue them simultaneously. So over here you can write that what are the different type of challenges that are associated with it. For example, challenges related to balancing economic policies with environmental regulations. Fine. Then you can talk about the technological and the financial constraints also. After that, the global disparities in economic development. Fine. What are the global disparities? What is the, I would say, the disparity with respect to the rich nations and the poor and the middle income nations. Then you can talk about the public awareness and the societal shifts. And lastly, the policy and political changes. Now, I'm not explaining these points because I hope you understand, otherwise the session will become very lengthy. And we are just trying to focus on, analyzing the PYQ, that what type of questions were asked and what could be the structuring and content and the difficulty level with respect to it. So not the explanation of this question. So basically, you can see that this question was purely static, and and I would say this question was not a difficult question at all, because the question is just asking about a simple concept regarding the sustainable development versus the environment, and if you try to pursue both of them, then what could be the challenges. Fine. So first you have to explain the conflict between them, then the challenges if you try to pursue them simultaneously. So I would say this was I would categorize this question as an easy question, again not very difficult. And another piece of information is that if you try to analyze the overall PYQ, fine, with respect to last year, one thing you would all agree that objective type paper was very difficult The difficulty level of objective type paper was high as compared to the descriptive paper. So I would say that those students who had prepared the descriptive paper in the most efficient manner, who had done answer writing, who had covered the syllabus in a detailed manner, they would be in some sort of advantageous position. I have interacted with many toppers also. The success story will be uploaded on YouTube, and there also they have suggested that please do not skip descriptive paper at any cost. Do not take it lightly, because at any point of time, if you are not securing good marks in the objective type paper, descriptive paper can always help you to balance that. Fine, it can always help you to maximize your score. And you can see the three questions that I have discussed. First, related to unemployment, very I would say straightforward question. The employment is straightforwardly mentioned as a part of your syllabus, and though it has current affair background also, the question had current affair background also, but even if you had not read that current affair, you would still be in a position to answer it. Second question was related to budget. Now any serious aspirant knows that budget is mentioned as a part of the syllabus. So if you have covered budget, you could have answered that question, the 5 different highlights. Then the question was related to digital India economy. Fine. So digital India, we all know it was there in the news, and it was highlighted in the economic survey again. So you could have answered it from here. Now this part, which is the sustainable development, this was purely static. Now let us move on to the 10-marker question. Let us see what was the 10-marker question. And this is also again a very easy question. Rural India needs to give priority to women led development. अब आप लोग सोच रहे होंगे कि सारे क्वेश्चन में easy moderate बताया जा रहा हो, but I hope that all of you agree with my point that if we compare this overall, this whole paper, this descriptive paper with the objective paper, this is comparatively much easier. Fine. Though yes, I know that because of the exam pressure, student faces challenges regarding the time management, the typing speed, and sometimes you are not able to recall the content. But इतना तो सबको आता होगा कि कुछ ना कुछ यहाँ पर एक अच्छा content generate कर ही पाए. अब women के बारे में किसने नहीं पढ़ा होगा? Women empowerment is something that is a very important core area. Fine. And even if you see the PYQs, you can easily interpret that women empowerment is something that you must prepare. And the straightforward question was asked that the rural India needs to give priority to women-led development. Discuss. Now over here, you had to talk about 2 types of things. First thing is that why we need to give priority to women. Fine. Why we need to give priority to women as a part of the rural India. The second priority is that the second component of the answer should be that how we can do that. So this why and how, if you are addressing, then you are done with this question, and you would be able to do justice with this question. So you can see it over here that rural India needs to give priority to women-led development. Firstly, you can talk about women empowerment only. Now I'm assuming that anyone who has written this phase 2 paper, he would have prepared some sort of I would say ready-made introduction for a women-related topic, because this is a type of topic that is directly mentioned in the syllabus. It is important as far as the PYQs are concerned. So any serious aspirant, he would have prepared some kind of ready-made introduction, ready-made content for this type of for the questions that are coming from this type of topic. So you can see over here, you can write that the women's empowerment is essential for the socio-economic development in rural India. As a significant segment of the population, they play a crucial role in agriculture productivity, household management, and community development. However, there are systemic barriers that are associated to it. Fine, now let us talk about that why we need to promote the women empowerment, women-led development as far as the rural India is concerned. So firstly, we have to take a note on the economic contribution of women. Over here, you can write different content related to land ownership, then economic potential. Then you can talk about the skill development and education, because it is very critical for empowering women, and rural areas often face challenges with respect to that. So we need to expand our approach in rural India with respect to education and skill development. Then we can talk about literacy rate. अब देखो ये सब एरिया ऐसा है जहां पर ये डेटा आपको पता होना ही चाहिए. आपको एजुकेशन रिलेटेड डेटा पता होना चाहिए, आपको हेल्थ रिलेटेड डेटा पता होना चाहिए, आपको वुमेन रिलेटेड डेटा पता होना चाहिए. फाइन. नाउ यू शुड ऑल्सो नो द डेटा अबाउट फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन, एम्प्लॉयमेंट, स्किल, फाइन, वट एवर टॉपिक्स, इनइक्वालिटी. ये कुछ ऐसी चीजें जिनका डेटा आपको हर टाइम पता होना चाहिए as far as the phase 2 is concerned, so that wherever you get the opportunity you can sprinkle this type of value addition content. Fine, ये तो मैंने कुछ नाम ही लिए, but जो भी आपके सिलेबस में important keywords mentioned है, fine, so you need to have some kind of, I would say, value addition content related to that. अब देखो ये क्वेश्चन स्किल का नहीं है. The question is not about skill, but since you are talking about the skill with respect to women, so you can write some data with respect to it over here. You can write some example. You can write about PM Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana, which is for the skill development. You can talk about literacy rate, fine, with respect to women, if you have idea regarding the data related to education. So this is how you have to segregate your data so that you can use it wherever it is required, fine. So I hope it is clear to you. Now the access to financial sources, so that could also be a point. Then after that, the health and nutrition, you can see the health related data. You can write it over here, that how the percentage of women that are anemic, you can write about that. So according to National Family Health Survey, the maternal mortality rate in India is 97 per 1 lakh live births. So you can see that such type of data you can remember at any point of time, and you can use it wherever it is applicable, fine. Then the nutrition also, that the 33.5% of the women are anemic. So you can see that data related to anemia, fine, which is published by the government only. So you must remember such kind of data with respect to the examination. So the last point is regarding the social and economic development. So we have discussed all the dimensions. After that, how basically we can promote the women-led development in rural India. So firstly, we have discussed that why we need to promote it, and we have discussed the issues related to that. Now we are talking about how we can do so. So the how part is here, that steps need to be taken in order to promote women-led development in rural India. So firstly, you can talk about the policy reforms, and over there you can see that we need to bring land reforms. We need to promote the access to credit in the rural India, specifically for women. Then we need to promote education initiatives also, for example, the community-based programs, for example, the different scholarship schemes for the girls who come from rural background. Then we need to promote the healthcare accessibility also, mobile health clinics, nutrition program. अब ध्यान दो यहाँ पर कि कुछ ना कुछ कीवर्ड्स यहाँ पे स्प्रिंकल किए जा रहे हैं. यहाँ हमने लिखा है मोबाइल हेल्थ क्लिनिक. अब कोई चाहता तो यहाँ पर ये भी लिख सकता था कि वी नीड टू प्रमोट हेल्थ केयर एक्सेसिबिलिटी विद रिस्पेक्ट टू वुमेन इन रूरल इंडिया. अब ये जो सेंटेंस है, इस टाइप का जो सेंटेंस को लिखेगा यहाँ पर, बहुत ही जनरल सेंटेंस है. देयर इज नो स्पेसिफिसिटी दैट इज एसोसिएटेड विद इट, बट आई वुड से दैट इज एन इनकम्प्लीट अप्रोच. यू शुड ऑलवेज ट्राई टू ऐड सम स्पेसिफिसिटी, यू शुड ऑलवेज ट्राई टू ऐड सम वैल्यू so that your answer looks different from others. Fine. So that's how it works. So you can see mobile health clinic. So over here you can talk about, for example, the empowerment through self-help groups. Then the awareness campaigns, for example, the gender sensitization programs we need to promote. We need to promote legal awareness also, so that women are, they are well aware about their legal rights, their property rights, their marriage right regarding employment, and empowering them to assert their entitlements. Then the monitoring and evaluation is also something that we need to do. We need to do proper data collection, and we need to take care regarding the feedback mechanism also. Fine, so that whatever policies we have formulated, are they being implemented in a right manner or not. So that is something that can be done as a part of monitoring and evaluation. So the conclusion could be that prioritizing women-led development in rural India is not just a matter of social justice, but crucial economic strategy also. So it is not just about social role, but about the economic significance also that it carries. Fine. So that's how we can write the answer to this question. But the answer is not important. ये जो मैंने content लिखा है वो important नहीं है. जो important है वो है approach. The important thing is the mindset. You should be aware about the fact that you should address all the components of the answer. You should be aware about the fact that you need to add value to your answers through some data, through some facts, or maybe through some examples. All these things you have to take care while writing your answer. Fine. But I hope things are pretty much clear to you. Now again, another question. Explain the objectives and significance of national industrial. And by the way, this previous question also we had covered in perspective 360 degree. Fine, just for the sake of information on our YouTube channel. And 6 में से 4 क्वेश्चन हमारे पर्सपेक्टिव में हमने कवर किए थे. 1-2 क्वेश्चन रह गए थे क्योंकि वो प्योरली, एक तो वो सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट वाला प्योरली स्टैटिक आ गया, एंड ये क्वेश्चन मैंने बजट में डिस्कस किया था, बट वी हैड नॉट डिस्कस्ड इट इन अ डिटेल मैनर. सो दिस इज समथिंग आल्सो वी हैड नॉट कवर्ड इन पर्सपेक्टिव 360 डिग्री. Fine. So basically the thing is that the question is, explain the objectives and significance of the National Industrial Corridor Development Program in boosting India's industrial growth and infrastructure development. Now the thing is that why this question is important, because this question was related to current affairs. And which component of the current affairs? Very specifically, the budget. In the budget, the government announced to launch National Industrial Park as a part of National Industrial Corridor Development Program. This is what the government decided to launch as a part of the budget. Now just I would say when the phase 2 happened just 2 months ago, what the government did, government also allocated funds with respect to a huge amount of funds with respect to this initiative that they are launched in the budget. And because of that, what I would say, the question was asked in the examination that you have to tell the objectives of this National Industrial Corridor Development Program and its significance also. Both the things I would say you had to address. And what was the background, the context of this question? The context is related to the current affairs, the budget, and also the news that the funds were allocated with respect to it. So that's why you had to prepare it. So again, you can see that you cannot underestimate the importance of current affairs. You have to prepare current affairs so that you can write the answer in a well elaborative manner. So the thing is that NICDP, it is a strategy initiative with respect to Government of India. Okay, let me read the full question. Firstly, it is asking about the objective and significance and in boosting Indian industrial growth. And okay, this is the question. They are asking about the objective and the significance only. Fine. Now let us see the answer. So the NICDP, it is an initiative that aims at enhancing industrial growth and infrastructure development across the country. So basically, you can talk about that what is the objective. Then basically, it was launched initially with Delhi-Mumbai industrial corridor in 2007, and it seeks to establish world-class industrial cities equipped with cutting-edge technologies and sustainable infrastructure. Now, what is the objective? The objective is to boost the manufacturing sector, no doubt regarding that. The second objective is urbanization and infrastructure development. The third objective is the regional economic growth, because by strategically locating industrial corridors in various states, it aims to promote balanced regional development so that the manufacturing or the industrial development is not restricted to a certain part of the country only. The benefit of this industrial development, it gets sprinkled all across the country, fine, all across the economy, so that there is no sort of disparity between the urban area and the rural area, and there is no disparity between the different states also. So that is something that is taken care as a part of this NICDP. Then after that, the sustainable development. So the NICDP ensures green technologies also in urban planning, and also it focuses on creation of smart cities, fine, where we are linking the urbanization with the technology, this can be achieved with the help of the smart cities, fine. So this is also this plan envisions. Now after that, the significance of NICDP, it will play the role with respect to economic transformation, then the attraction of FDI also, because the foreign countries, they will see it as an attractive destination. Then the infrastructure improvements also, which it is going to focus upon. Then the employment generation also, fine. And apart from that, the innovation and technology. So all these things are going to be a result of this NICDP, because it focuses on the I would say infrastructure development, it focuses on the manufacturing sector. So whatever I would say the objectives, the importance is related to this infrastructure and the manufacturing industries, the same points you can write under this NICDP also, fine. Directly or indirectly you can generate content with respect to it, even if you have not covered it while you during your preparation. Then after that, you can write about the current development also, which will of course give you the additional marks in the examination, because this is the most recent development, that as of 2024 the Union Cabinet approved the development of 12 new industrial nodes, which are part of the ongoing expansion of NICDP. These nodes are being planned in states such as Uttarakhand, Punjab, Maharashtra and Kerala, among others, or designed to operate as smart cities with emphasis on sustainable development and efficient urban living, fine. So that is how this is the most recent development with respect to this NICDP, and I would say this question can be categorized it either moderate or the difficult also, fine. Moderate for those who were able to generate at least the second part of the body. I know when it comes to the first part of the body where you had to write the objective, over there I would say it could be a bit challenging, because they are very much factual and you need to be precise with respect to it. But when we talk about the importance, I would say you could have replicated the other points also. I mean, the points you could have written under the importance of infrastructure development or the manufacturing sector, those points can be replicated over here, because this whole NICDP is related to those objectives only. So for those students it would be moderate. Otherwise, if you have no idea, then it would be a difficult question for you, fine. So that is the idea, because it was directly linked to current affair only. Though the knowledge was static, but the background of the question was related to current affairs. Now the last question, examine the pros and cons of implementing artificial intelligence in the banking sector. Now this question I would say was related to again current affairs. Though again, this looks static. It is a static question, no doubt regarding it. It is asking about the pros and cons with respect to implementation of artificial intelligence in the banking sector. But the thing is that if we talk about the background of this question, it is linked to current affairs, because I would say when this exam happened, this phase 2 exam happened just 3 to 4 months ago on RBI. The deputy governor, he gave a speech related to this topic, which is the impact of artificial intelligence in the banking sector. So somebody who was going through that RBI website, he would be in a good position to answer this question. But I know that a lot of students are not able to do that because of the wide coverage of the syllabus. You have a lot of other things also to prepare. But I'm just sharing the background, because when I scanned the RBI website, I was able to find that this was something that was discussed by deputy governor as a part of the media interactions. Fine. So that's why this question was asked, and the answer, if you know the answer, you can write it. If you do not know, still you can, I would say, beat around the bush, and you can get at least some minimum marks with respect to this question. So we know that AI has revolutionized various sectors, and banks are no exception. And all these things you can write connecting the AI and banking as a part of the introduction. Then the question is very much straightforward. It is asking about the pros and the cons. So over here you can see the pros of AI in banking, that it aims to it provides the enhanced customer service experience. So over here you can write such examples also. America's Erica, which offers 24/7 customer support. So such type of examples you can write. Fine. Apart from that, there is a example of SBI also. Fine. SBI uses this chatbot, which is SIA. Fine, SIA. So that could be another example with respect to enhanced customer service. If you want to remember that, you can remember it. Fine. Now the next point is fraud detection and the fraud detection security. So AI's continuous monitoring capabilities, they enhance the fraud detection also. So after that, we have operational efficiency and the cost reduction. For example, Citibank, it uses AI to streamline back office processes and loan applications faster with few errors. Then after that, we have the risk management also, which is another advantage of that. It helps in the risk management. Then after that, we have the challenges, the cons. So it has risks with respect to data privacy and security concerns. Then the high implementation costs that are there. After that, there is algorithm bias, because AI algorithm, it may inadvertently perpetuate biases from historical data, and that can, of course, this can lead to unfair outcomes related to loan approvals or credit scoring. Then after that, the job displacement, another relevant point as far as the cons of the AI impact on banking sector is concerned. Fine, because when the technology will come, it has potential to replace certain type of human jobs. Fine. So job displacement can be another cons with respect to this overall scenario. Then lastly, we have the conclusion. Now again, I'm repeating that you don't have to put such kind of separate heading for the conclusion. This is just we have written for your reference. Fine. So while AI offers XYZ, it offers the benefits, but apart from that, it has some kind of challenges also. So what we need to do, we need to address those challenges so that we the AI, it can combine with AI driven automation and human expertise, and at the end, what we are able to do, we are able to generate maximum potential. We are able to extract maximum potential with respect to AI as far as the banking sector is concerned. Again, this question was moderate, and for some students, I agree, it would be very difficult if they don't have any idea regarding, if they don't have any content with respect to this topic. But overall, I would say the difficulty level was moderate. Fine. So these were the questions that were asked as a part of the descriptive paper. Now, what can be our important learnings? The first important learning could be that please give first priority to your syllabus. No matter what, you need to give first priority to your syllabus. So whatever has been mentioned in the syllabus, that different keywords like employment, like I would say poverty, whatever keywords are there, fine, you need to focus on each and every keyword so that you are able to cover the syllabus in the most comprehensive manner. And this is going to, of course, help you in the long run, because if random questions are also asked in the examination, but if you have covered the syllabus widely, you will be able to generate some sort of minimum content for those questions. But अगर आपने syllabus ही अच्छे से cover नहीं किया, जो कि minimum चीज आपको करनी ही करनी है, तो उससे अगर कोई random question आता है एग्जाम में, तो आप उससे टैकल करने में बहुत प्रॉब्लम फेस करेंगे. फाइन. सो सिलेबस को कवर करना सबसे पहली प्रायोरिटी होनी चाहिए. उसके बाद आते हैं करंट अफेयर्स. बट क्योंकि मैंने करंट अफेयर को बाद में लिखा है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि आप उसे इग्नोर करें. एटलीस्ट आपको जो इंपॉर्टेंट करंट अफेयर्स है उस पर फोकस करना ही करना है. नो मैटर व्हाट, यू नीड टू फोकस ऑन करंट अफेयर्स लाइक इकोनॉमिक सर्वे, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट डॉक्यूमेंट. इकोनॉमिक सर्वे का सबसे बड़ा बेनिफिट ये है कि इकोनॉमिक सर्वे में एक तो आपको जो बहुत ही आई वुड से एडवांस इश्यूज हैं, जो बहुत ही आई वुड से टिपिकल इश्यूज है जो सिर्फ इकोनॉमिक सर्वे कवर करता है, वो तो आपको मिलेगी इंफॉर्मेशन. बट आपको बहुत सारी और चीजों की भी इंफॉर्मेशन मिल सकती है जो डायरेक्टली आपके सिलेबस से कनेक्टेड है. फाइन, फॉर एग्जांपल इट विल गिव यू इंफॉर्मेशन रिगार्डिंग फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन. It will give you the most updated data regarding financial inclusion, then regarding the questions with respect to women, then the industrial sector, then the service sector, fine, then the agriculture sector, fine, then regarding the artificial intelligence also they have covered this year. We are going to cover it very soon on YouTube under Perspective 360. So ये सब चीजें भी आपको कवर हो जाएगी इकोनॉमिक सर्वे में, अगर आप इकोनॉमिक सर्वे को एक सही ढंग से फॉलो कर रहे हो. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट यू नीड टू कवर बजट ऑल्सो. आई वुड से वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट डॉक्यूमेंट, बिकॉज स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन बजट में से पूछे जाते हैं. तो अगर बजट में कोई भी बड़ा इनिशिएटिव लॉन्च होता है, कोई बड़ा प्रोग्राम लॉन्च होता है, या कोई मेजर न्यू स्कीम लॉन्च हो रही है, सो यू नीड टू आई मीन फोकस ऑन दैट बिकॉज दैट हैज पोटेंशियल टू बी आस्क्ड इन योर डिस्क्रिप्टिव पेपर. सो दिस इज समथिंग दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. देन द थर्ड प्रायोरिटी यू कैन प्रोवाइड टू reports also. Why the reports? Because there are certain reports. Now under the reports I would suggest you two type of categories. The first category of reports are those which are directly mentioned in the syllabus. Fine. For example, we know it is reports on currency and finance, reports on trend and banking, and world development report, different type, world financial stability report, different type of reports are mentioned in your syllabus. Those reports should be a first priority. Now the second priority should be what? Those reports that are not mentioned in the syllabus but they align with your syllabus. So for example, I just discussed with you just in the beginning of the session, the India employment report. Now it is a type of report that is not specifically mentioned as a part of your syllabus, but it still aligns with your syllabus. Fine, because employment is a part of your syllabus. So what you have to do, suppose such type of report comes, you don't have to read it cover to cover. You can go to the newspapers, you can open newspaper articles, and over there you can see the major update regarding to that report, that what is the most important or most critical issue that is highlighted as a part of that report. It will be covered in the newspaper articles or newspaper editorials. So from there you have to collect the information that so and so is important, so and so content is discussed in the newspaper, and I will make a note of it. Fine, this is something that you have to do with respect to this second category of report. Fine. Now apart from that, the fourth point that I would like to suggest you is that the importance of PYQs. Fine, प्लीज डू नॉट फॉरगेट टू विजिट PYQs. ये तो हमने सिर्फ 2024 का देखा, आप 23, 22 का भी देखिए, जहां से आपको अच्छे से ट्रेंड्स पता चलेंगे. एंड ट्रस्ट मी, यू विल बी एबल टू एनालाइज अ पैटर्न. For example, if you see the PYQs, you will be able to see that what type of current affairs they are asking, what type of topics are important. For example, I told you women empowerment, financial inclusion, then entrepreneurship. For example, startups, they have asked this topic multiple times. Fine. So such type of pattern you will be able to understand. You will be able to understand the trend related to examination. Then last but not the least, I would say the answer writing practice. ये बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है करंट अफेयर्स के लिए. सॉरी, नॉट द करंट अफेयर्स स्पेसिफिकली, बट फॉर द डिस्क्रिप्टिव पेपर, बिकॉज ट्रस्ट मी, यू विल हैव टू राइट 2000 वर्ड्स. You will have to write 2000 words within 90 minutes, and you don't have to write it, you have to type it. Fine. So typing can be a big hurdle if you have not practiced enough. Is it going to be difficult? Is it going to be challenging? The answer is yes. But is it doable? The answer is again yes. It is doable. Everybody has done it who has cracked the examination. So it is doable for you also. So make sure that you have done good amount of answer writing practice so that you are able to tackle this challenge, which is challenge number 1, and challenge number 2 is the time limit also. Fine. So you have two categories of questions. The first is 600 words and the second is 400 word. Try your best to write this 600 word question within, I would say, 21 to 22 minutes. And apart from that, this 400 word question within 18 to 19 minutes. This should be a target. But I know जब आप शुरू में स्टार्ट करेंगे तब तो आपका 1 घंटा भी जाएगा, 1.5 घंटा भी जा सकता है, किसी की तो स्टूडेंट्स के 2 घंटे भी चले जाते हैं, मैंने बात की है. फाइन. सो इट इज ओके. As a beginner, it is perfectly fine. No problem regarding that. No, do not be afraid of making mistakes. But the thing is that gradually, when you will practice, eventually your time is going to get reduced. And this is something, that is the expected outcome that we all want to see. So these are going to be the challenges: word limit, time limit, and also last but not the least, sorry, I think I'm creating it too messy, but over here, let me write it. You need to master this art of writing your answer concisely. because if you're not able to generate your ideas concisely, because when you will go to the examination, you will be having a lot of knowledge, no doubt regarding that. So the point is that you have to convert that knowledge into marks, and it is very important that you are able to attempt all the questions within the requisite time that has been provided to you. So concisely writing the answer makes a lot of difference, because that huge knowledge that you have in your brain, you will be able to reflect it in a very clear manner in your answer. And through that, what will happen, you will be able to tackle with both word limit as well as time limit. Fine, so that is the idea. तो जो भी ऑब्जेक्टिव और डिस्क्रिप्टिव के लिए एनालिसिस था, आई थिंक हमने इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट सभी कवर कर लिए हैं. And the PDF of this will be shared in our Telegram channel. You can download it from there. But I hope this overall analysis was helpful to you. Now, last but not the least, those of you who are preparing for RBI Grade B exam, on our website we have a course for you. Now we have two type of courses basically. The first one is the gold course and the second one is the silver course. So you can see it over here, the RBI Grade B gold course and the silver course. So yeah, this one is the gold course. Fine. So in the gold course you can see that firstly you will be provided with concept classes, fine, which will be pre-recorded classes, and then there will be the live classes also. Fine, the live classes are also going to be there, which will happen, you know, in two batches. The first batch has already been done. The second batch will start when the notification will be announced. Then the live classes and separately the concept classes. Then you will be getting the concept notes and the summary sheets also. Summary sheet is the condensed version of the concept notes, and concept notes is basically explanation of the videos. Fine, it was given in a detailed manner so that you can eventually revise it in the most effective way. Then you will be provided mock test also and free interview guidance program also. You can purchase the program for 3 different validities. The first is 12 months, then the 18 months, and then the 24 months. Currently, for a limited period of time, we have this discount offer running on our website. So you have to just use this code EduTap. You just have to paste it while purchasing this, I would say, course, and you can avail it at rupees 8,820. So these are, and if you want to have access to the demo videos, how the course videos look like, how the content is there as a part of the course, so on our website only you can just have a glance of that. Fine. And this is the you can see it over here. For example, if you want to see that how the EduTap's finance classes, so what you can do, you can click on this icon, and this will give you access to the YouTube channel. And over here you can see that this is a class, this is a discussion of bond, and this is the teaching method of our faculty. And if it suits you, you can go for the course. It will help you as far as the exam preparation is concerned. Then if you want to have a glance of summary sheet and the, I would say, concept notes, so again you can click it over here. Fine. So this is the management concept notes, and you can see in a detailed manner these are the concept notes. So you can just go to the website and you can have a good glance of this concept notes. You can see the flow charts, the diagrams, also sort of things. So that is the idea. And for the other details, these are the mentors, and you can go to a website and you can check out these details. So I hope the session was helpful for you. If you want more videos from our end regarding specific topic, you can write it in the comment box. So thank you so much, and all the best for your preparation.